everywhere I went, I kept hearing foster. Fostering would come up in somebody else's story, or I'd hear it on the radio, or I'd see it on the TV. So I was just inundated with it. And I was a bit reluctant. And then I finally, okay, I get it. We're supposed to look into fostering.
Our story actually started with a closed door, and we had tried, as Shadow had said, for 8 years to have a family, traditional methods, and we went down a pretty long road of infertility. Because of that, Shadow's heart really started opening up towards foster care.
When we were going through the classes to be foster parents, our trainer said that typically when you start fostering, you don't end up adopting the first kids you've ever fostered.
Right.
Well, these are the only kids we've ever fostered.
And we've been foster parents for less than 3 years. And our first placement was a pair of brothers. And it was maybe a year and a half. And then their older sister joined us. And then a month later, 2 months. 2 months. 2 months later, we found out that they had another sister on the way. And so she joined our family in March of this year. It took a while for things to transition, because those first several days, we had precious moments and challenging days. And over time, that flipped, and we had precious days and challenging moments. And it did. It took us a little while to get our feet under us.
It definitely took a lot of work.
It did.
But we were definitely willing to put in the work.
Yes.
We just didn't know how much.
Yes.
And how often that was going to be required. And we quickly found that out. And fortunately, that first week, I think we had Axel and Alden for 3 days. And then the grandparents.
They had a grandparent visit, and that really was a beneficial thing in our story here, because we were, those first several days, we were looking at each other like, can we do this?
We were treading water.
And when they had their grandparent visit, it allowed us to come together and really strategize. This is working, this is not. That sort of thing. We had
we got to see
go ahead.
They showed us, okay, these are your guys' weaknesses you guys need to work on. And so it's like, okay, let's address this now while they're not here. And so we kind of tightened up our schedules and our routines, and we kind of figured things out. And that really, really helped us.
That did. In addition to, we had a really great circle around us, an excellent support system, and his dad and my parents and our friends. Everybody knew our journey up to this point, and their hearts were just as ready as our hearts were to accept and welcome, these precious boys. We knew that they had a sister, and we learned in our training that sibling relationships are so important. They're so vital. And quite honestly, our oldest boy and his sister, they had probably the strongest sibling bond I'd ever witnessed. And we knew immediately we're prioritizing this. And so, we invited their sister over to our house often. She was a part of birthdays, and we got her Christmas presents even before she lived with us. And unfortunately, in some respects, it all worked out. But, she had a more challenging time, and she got disrupted on several times. And we finally said, no, that's enough. She belongs with us. In fact, it was a very clear message. God really just spoke to us, and he said, Erica belongs with you. She's changing her name. She's changing her name from Erica to Aubrielle. So if there's inconsistency there, that's what that's about.
Yep, we're still trying to get used to it.
We are. But we knew that once we got that message that she belonged with us, it was okay. We're no longer a family of 4, we're a family of 5. And it wasn't long after that she joined us, and we were a little apprehensive. She had
I was a bit of a holdout, only because the only times that I'd ever met her and seen her,
when she was here, even
she does this thing when she sees people, like she gets super excited,
very
so wild and like growling, and I mean, she was like, I was like, that little girl scares me. and so I was like, all right, we need to do some like overnights or something and get to know Aubrey and see who she is. And she's a wonderful girl.
She's wonderful. She just didn't have, the support and the structure that every child needs. She didn't have that love that I'm in it, I'm all in it, and I'm all in it for you type of love. And
she's come so far from where we first met her at. I was like, she just keeps getting better and better.
It's incredible. We're in the process of adopting. We anticipate National Adoption Day is the day. So we're very close. We are all very excited. The kids are excited. We have a saying around here where we say team family, because we're all really ready for this to happen. We're already a family in our hearts. It's just going to be on paper now too.
Because we were told that they wanted us to be on National Adoption Day, and we would have been if it wasn't for COVID.
Gotta love COVID.
So we're gonna have our own National Adoption Day party.
Yeah.